station where they show you those 3D walkthroughs.
Right.
So if you wanted to, do people approach you for remodeling a home?
Yes, we do total remodels. We do
Okay.
additions.
I mean, the walls that can be taken out and the reallocation of space is really
Yeah,
impressive to me.
We do all that. We do a structural analysis, what's called a feasibility of the property. It could be a commercial property, it could be a residence. We walk through and see what type of structure is holding the building up, and what can be moved, what
can be done.
What can be done. We write out a report, or we can just do it verbally, and then the next step is to come up with a program for the client's requirements once they commission our services.
I have so many questions as we're speaking. Would it be probably more practical when you first graduate to go into a firm that is already existing, or would it be very difficult to start off on your own?
It's very difficult to start off on your own. Someone who graduates from school, I would say go into the construction business. And that's because that really teaches you a lot of how a building is put together. It's very difficult to learn how a building is put together when you're just putting it together on paper.
I see, yes.
So in school they do give you some construction experience in shops and putting things together, but if you can, it's very advisable to go into the construction field and, you know,
Would you go in as an apprentice then, or I mean, I'm presuming that, okay, you've finished school and you need to work.
Yeah, if you come into, like last summer we had an intern who came into the office to apprentice. And basically he worked for free, and we showed him exactly what architects do. We didn't require him to do much work because he wasn't being paid, but we gave him a flavor of what it is that we do. And then when we start to ask him to do production work, then we give him a salary.
And this was after he had finished his degree?
He was still in school.
Ah, okay.
Now, after he finished his degree, I would say go work for a large firm. And
a large architectural firm.
A large architectural firm.
To learn every phase of the possibilities.
Yes. To get his, they require a IDP program, which is intern development program now, that you have to fulfill the requirements before you sit for the exam, and that is to get some experience in each of the engineering disciplines. So working for a larger firm, you're going to get that type of experience. And then if you really, after you've done that, I would say go work for a smaller firm, because you're going to get the most experience
Sure.
and all facets, and then you can go off on your own and start your own business. But business, it's a business. And anybody who's looking to open up an architectural business should get some type of training in business management. Right.
Yes. Do I understand that you started off sort of in one direction, then changed direction, if art was, or is that a good way to begin, with art as the basis? And then did you go right into the architectural education program?
When I was growing up, I was did not feel comfortable taking industrial design courses in the high school.
As a female?
As a female. It was...
and that has changed, I'm sure.
That's changed now. They have drafting courses and things of that nature.
Yes.
Which has changed for the better. But at that time, so I was very artistic, and I really enjoyed buildings. You know, I loved looking at buildings, and I would do art projects that were, you know, I'd build building models and things of that nature.
Yes.
And
just as an aside, there's such an interest in Legos at this time.
Yes.
And I see with my own grandchildren that they're building all kinds of things and then taking them apart and trying something else. And I would think that would be a good basis.
That is a good basis.
Yeah. Even if you don't go into architecture or into art, it does things to your brain, which I think are important, the way that math does and the way that music does.
It does, right.
And unfortunately, we are running short of time just because that's what happens when you are learning so much at one time. So we know what an architect is, what kind of background is necessary, the great varieties of ways that you can work as an architect, including different types of commissions, building surveys, feasibility studies, designing of several structures at one time for business or industry, and your construction role. They talk about clerk of the work. Is that sort of what you do?
When you do submittals, get submittals from contractors, you, I could hire somebody or I could do it, and I could, all the samples that can come in, we have to look them up and see if they match the specifications, and if they are, we approve them, and if they don't, the contractor has to submit something else. But that's what the clerk of the works does. And when we go out, and we can help clients pick, when they get several bids in, look over the bids, and help them to make a decision on to the contractor to go with, based on experience and our professional experience.
I'm a firm believer that you save time and you save money when you do that, when you go to an expert, rather than, and it can be a very expensive mistake if you try to do things on your own.
It could.
Yeah.
I think that's why a lot of buildings and towns and villages are requiring that an architect have an architect produce the drawings and stamp them, approve them.
For the building permit.
For a building permit, because in the previous, their lesson has been that they've had gotten sued by projects that have gone through that have been just where there wasn't that type of process, that scrutiny put under. It wasn't designed by a professional, so something happened to the structure, so the homeowner comes back, or the
could be the municipality that would come back too, would they not?
The business owner would come back and sue the municipality.
Okay. So it's really driven by the municipality as well, to avoid any lawsuits.
Right.
Yeah. Oh wow. So it's a very complex business, but you love what you do.
I love what I do.
Yeah. And would you recommend that people go into the field if they are interested?
I would. I would. If they have the time, the energy, and want to put in the training, I think they should. It's a very rewarding field, and now the AIA is recommending that architects go into public service and elected officials, and also
go into public service to help municipalities,
to become elected officials,
so that they will know,
because
they will know what is going on in their community.
Yeah, they have a broader sense of what's going on in the community, and some people feel that a person with architectural training has a broad view of the community and the welfare of the public. That's just the next step is to go into.
It's a very complex field, a highly varied field, a field in which there is opportunity.
Yes.
And how about shadowing in high school? Is any of that possible?
I have shadowed a couple of high school students. They've come in for the day and followed us around.
And you have a website so that people can get in touch with you?
Yeah, it's probably coming up on the screen right now. We have a website.
How about in local institutions? Are architectural courses offered in just about every university?
Well, CAD in every university, no, it's a specific program.
CAD, computer-assisted drawing, or computer-assisted drafting?
Yeah, in high school they have that, and usually the person teaching that course will pick a house to design. So you get that bit of experience.
I know they offer it at Niagara County Community College, too.
Yes.
So on the college level, you can also have that.
Real men know that getting tested is the way to take care of their families. That's why real men wear gowns. For a list of the tests you need, go to ahrq.gov.